Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Happy Easter, and welcome to our very special Easter episode.
Easter, praise the Lord and his return or something.
Exactly. His rising from the dead.
But he also dies.
He dies. He dies on the Friday and he comes back on the Sunday.
So do we also celebrate his death?
We do celebrate it. It's called Good Friday?
Yeah. But we celebrate it with the coming of a lot of beers at Systembolaget that are Easter themed.
Right.
Sometimes by name only.
Well, so yeah, what's fun is, again, the Easter beer selection used to be just the worst collection of brown ales ever assembled.
And Marzens.
And they weren't Marzens, they were brown ales, and they were lagers, and they were...
Bock. You could get Easter Bock.
Some Bocks, yeah. They're just really just very forgettable beers. And we did that, like I said, one of the first years that we did, Matthias and I did the podcast, we did Easter beers, and we're like, we will never do that again. That was horrible. They were just the worst beers.
Joke's on you.
We do it again. Then I think it was either last year or year before we kind of did Easter beers again because there were like over 100 beers released for the Easter beer release, and we were like, well, that's actually kind of interesting again. So a lot of breweries are putting out Easter lagers or Easter beers of some sort. In the case of like Stubbergets, of course, it's an IPA, but Omnipolo put out a mild. Dugas put out, I want to say, a stout and an IPA.
Yeah.
And then the various breweries put out very different types of beers and stuff. So,
but you chose one beer from a brewery that you weren't that familiar with.
I've never heard of it before.
One absolute classic and one crazy funky option.
Right.
And I'm impressed with your lineup.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This one I wasn't involved with, but I am highly impressed with the different directions.
So even though there is a real smorgasbord of options online, those options tend to be very regional. So if you're in the Gothenburg area, you had quite a few to choose from. If you're in the Stockholm area, you had quite a few to choose from. If you're in the Malmö area, you literally had about 10 you could pick off of the shelves. So we ended up with these three based off of, these were basically what I could get on the shelves when I went to Systembolaget, and these seem to be the most interesting.
Two of them are from Skåne region, our region, and one is from near Stockholm.
Which one's near Stockholm? This one?
Yeah, the middle one. We'll get to it. We'll get no spoilers.
I got you. Well, I didn't realize which one. I didn't realize this was nearby.
No, so we'll start with the beer from Bökebergs Bryggeri. It's called Big Red Easter Lager Ain't No Spring Chicken. And the weird thing about Bökeberg is that Bökeberg is a town in another region of Sweden, near Halmstad. It's Bökeberg. But Bökebergs brewery is here in Skåne, near Klågerup, basically outside of Lund.
Okay.
Outside of Malmö. Everything is outside of Malmö.
Yeah, kind of.
So the name makes no sense.
But I will say, of the labels, this one's my favorite because it's a big red chicken. It's really good. They've done a great job with it. It really caught my attention. I was like,
exactly.
Well, we're having that.
It's amazing bottle art.
Yeah.
And it's one of these... Before we hit record, we both said snub nose bottle and stub nose bottle. I don't know what's correct.
I don't either. I've always called it a snub nose because it's like a red stripe style bottle.
Yeah.
But now when you say that, you said stub nose, I was like, well, they do call them stubbies sometimes. So
they should call them snubbies.
Snubby sounds really cute and cuddly.
How strong was this one?
This one comes in at a 6%. Wow.
So Easter lager, what style would that be?
That would be lager.
Lager.
Red lager.
The style is lager.
Yeah, when it comes in, I think it pulls up as a red lager. You have to search for Big Red, and then I think Easter lager shows up or something like that. It took me a little bit to find it on Untappd.
amber lager.
Amber lager. All right, cool. So, and then, you know what? I would have to agree. This is...
Wait. Okay. So, Untapped says that they're from Svedala, not Klågerup.
Oh, wow.
Sure. I mean, they're all suburbs to Malmö.
Basically.
Just like Copenhagen is.
Pretty much, yeah. Malmö's largest
suburb.
But yeah, this is definitely a red lager. It is what it says. And it's actually pretty clean looking. It looks really, really nice. And it's retained the head, which is really good. So this looks pretty good. I'm kind of excited about this one.
Let's try it.
All right. Now, have you had much from this brewery? Are you familiar with?
This is probably my sixth beer.
Sixth beer from them. All right. And how have you found their other beers to be?
I don't want to say it on the national radio.
You say mixed results.
They're not very good. Well, I'm not sure I've had anything from them that's actually really good.
This is interesting. I do like the roastiness on the front end.
Yeah. And
the roastiness kind of lingers.
It has a little bit of toffee. Yeah. Sure, I'll give it that.
It almost feels like there's rye in this, kind of.
Maybe.
But I wouldn't be very surprised if it did. But the
it is my sixth beer. I was absolutely spot on correct. I have given them as high as a 3.4 and as low as a 1.
All right. Well, I got no problems with this one.
You got no problems with
No problems with this one.
It's very meh.
Well, it is a red lager or amber lager, sorry. And these are not. This falls into this not a very exciting style. Even if you would probably have the world's best amber lager, it'd probably still only be like a 4.
Maybe
if you had it in conjunction with other.
The world's best amber lager would be 5 out of 5.
Yeah, if you had it next to like 5 other amber lagers, you'd be like, all right, this is really good. This is not bad. This feels like I'm damning with faint praise, but it's very drinkable. The roasty notes hold up in the aftertaste quite well. There's a little bit of booziness coming off of that 6% because I think it's a little warmer than it needs to be, maybe. But overall, I'd give this 3.5.
3 for me.
3? Yeah, you're not as lenient on the style.
I'm being a little bit kind.
Yeah, I got you. No, I'm kind of lenient into this style, so I tend to go a little higher than you do.
Yeah.
I basically base it off of drinkability factor. Like, would I have this again? If that's the case, it's usually a 3. And then if there's anything that makes it stand out a little bit more, like the roastiness of the malts, then I kind of bump it just a little bit. Yeah. All right. So next up we have.
Next up is these are Swedish craft beer pioneers. They're one of a handful of original gangsters. It's Nynäshamns Brewing. It's actually Steam Brewing. Nynäshamns Steam Brewing that make a Easter beer called Pumpviken. So Nynäshamn, they're located, straight south from Stockholm. You take an absolute compass south, and when you hit the water, you're in Nynäshamn. You did it. And they've been pumping out beers for a long time. Sometimes they make new ones, but they have a few core beers that just pop up.
There's a lot of cask beers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I remember them mostly from. I see them in the bars. It's usually cask.
Here in Malmö, it's easy to get them on cask. Bishop's Arms in Malmö likes them, so usually has them on tap.
Yeah.
Right now, it's one of their stronger porters, Vinterviken. That's on cask.
That's a nice one, yeah. So this is a 5.8%. And before you look, do you know the style?
No.
This is a strong mild ale.
Strong mild?
Yeah. That's nice.
That's an oxymoron.
Nope.
Untapped says mild other.
Right. And so,
but 5.8.
You take a mild ale and you blend it with a strong ale, and then you have
mild strong ale.
Yeah, mild strong ale. This goes back to the when you would brew stronger beers in the winter, and then in the spring you would brew a milder, lighter beer, and then you would mix the two.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That is smart. So this one is slightly darker in color than the Bökebergs Big Red.
Yeah, and it's a really sweet nose to it.
It looks beautiful.
It's very, very reddish, almost like a cherry kind of red color. But the nose on this is really sweet and roasty. I'm really looking forward to this.
Let's try it. Cheers.
Yeah, I think the nose is stronger than the flavor.
Yeah. So this is one of those. It's always been there in the Easter beer. And I'm not sure they've missed a single year. It really is a classic.
Yeah.
It's meant to fit well with Easter meals.
Right. So when you're having your lamb and your herring, you have.
It's not really lamb. Maybe lamb on Easter. But, I mean,
Easter lamb.
Swedish Easter food is just Christmas food.
Right.
Repurposed.
Right. So you don't have ham. You have for Christmas you have ham.
My family has always had ham at Easter as well.
Oh, you have lamb because Jesus was the lamb, so it's representative of the situation. And then during the summer, you have your herring.
Right. We don't have ham at midsummer.
That would be crazy. Who would eat cold ham? Oh, the thought.
Yummy.
And then, but then midsummer you have your herring and your salmon and your cheese, and then your main is usually a lot more freewheeling than.
Yeah, midsummer can be a little bit more.
But you have to have boiled potatoes with dill.
Yes,
that is a requirement.
That is very important. But my family never had boiled potatoes with dill for Easter.
Well, of course not. They wouldn't be in season yet.
We would have.
Don't talk crazy.
We would have diced fried potatoes sprinkled with sugar. So that,
sugar?
Yeah, so that they become... a slight sprinkling of sugar before you hard fry the diced potatoes.
So that what gets a little bit of a caramelized nature to it?
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear people talking smack about my sweet potatoes with marshmallows. Oh, so good.
I mean,
it's so good.
but those potatoes feel like a family regional thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's important about the holidays is every family should have their own special recipe that they have.
But for all of these, festivities are quite salty in their flavor profiles for the food. Mm-hmm. So a sweeter beer will cut through that. That's the point. This
is light. It's a little sweet. I wouldn't say it's very sweet. But there's a mild roastiness on the back end. It's very drinkable. It's very enjoyable. It comes in a 50 centiliter bottle, so it's a big boy. But it's really good. It's very nice beer.
This one I give it 3.5.
I will also give it a 3.5.
Nice. Yeah. And then we have the last one.
The last one is from Perfectly Squared. They're a Malmö-based brewery.
No, outside Malmö.
They are brewed in Scania.
Scania? That's Skåne. That's our region.
That's what I thought, but that was just like, that's all it says. They don't give a specific city or town.
Vellinge. It's a suburb.
Yes,
of Malmö.
it is a suburb of Malmö.
But it is its own zip code.
they all have their own postal codes. All right, so this is Resurrection. I thought they were. I really thought Perfectly Squared was here in Malmö itself.
Huh?
All right. So Resurrection is a barrel-aged Påskmust flavored stout, coming in at 5.6%. Yeah, I don't know what this one. This one have so. I saw what maybe grabbed this one first was I read barrel-aged stout.
Yes.
And the other words did not really matter. I didn't notice the brewery, and I didn't notice the ABV. So you have a long history. So Påskmust, so Christmas has, of course, Julmust, and then Påskmust is just I guess whatever Julmust didn't get sold repackaged in an Easter package.
We've talked about Julmust, Christmas must. So it's a soft drink.
Yes.
It is like, it's Coca-Cola with more spices, less sugar, and older.
Right.
And the original recipes have changed for must, but it's a spiced soft drink.
But the classic is the Apotek?
Apothekernes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's a really old recipe that they keep secret. Just like Coca-Cola apparently has their recipe secret. It's this. Right. There are some parallels.
Well, and what I understand was when Coca-Cola was trying to break into the Swedish market, they tried to make their own version, and it failed miserably because people were like, "This is nonsense."
Wow.
But I do know there are two different brands of Julmust on the market. I don't remember what the other one is.
No, there are several.
Are there?
Yeah, there
All
are.
right. Well, I don't pay that much. I don't like it. It's nasty stuff.
Smaller regional variants.
All right.
Sweden is one of few countries where the sale of Coca-Cola dips downwards during Christmas.
Wow. But that doesn't surprise me because the Julmust is beloved in ways that I just do not understand. But then we have Påskmust, which is the not as beloved for some reason, but tastes to me exactly the same. So I don't know why.
I mean, okay.
Is it because it's too close to Christmas and you're like, well, this is just the leftovers and we've already had this experience?
Are you asking my heart or my brain?
Both.
My heart says that there are two wildly, completely different things. My brain knows that they are the exact same thing with different labels.
Yeah, probably.
100 million% the same thing. Sometimes you can even see Påskmust relabeled. So if you manage to peel off the label, you have Julmust underneath.
I totally believe that. All right, so this smells like...
Oh, it smells exactly like the soft drink.
Yeah.
So the soft drink is heavily spiced, much more than Coca-Cola. Which would make it more of a Christmas, like these star anise, and these clove type flavors, I guess. But
orange and stuff like that. All right, let's just do this. Let's just rip this bandage off.
Oof, that's a hard sell.
Why is it so sour?
Yeah,
and why is it so? Tastes like carbonated water.
Yes.
And
the aroma was spot on for...
Why does it not have any flavor?
Now I get some chocolate in the aftertaste, but it's milk chocolate. Like, ugh.
All right. I don't know what this barrel... I don't know what kind of barrel this is aged on. And...
Doesn't say.
I don't get the... It smelled. The smell was better than the flavor.
Yes.
It really just tastes like someone added some flavoring to some carbonated water, like from the Soda Stream. But not as carbonated as that. So it's like flat carbonated water almost.
Oof.
This is not good. I got nothing on this one. This for me is a complete miss. What's the rating overall?
3.20
out of 15 reviews. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well,
they marked it as Stout American. Come on, Stout Other.
This is Stout Other. Yeah. This is definitely a Stout Other.
Get a grip. This one says they're from Dalby. That's outside of Lund, not outside of Malmö.
Man, get your stories right. You've been so wrong about so many things today.
No. I'm the best. Yep. This is a 1.5.
I'm going to give it a 1.
Yeah. You're right.
That was a travesty.
It's a 1. The aroma was a 3+.
Yeah.
But then the flavor doesn't follow through at all. There's something wrong.
Everything about it is just broken in the glass. It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just call it a day then. You can find us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you find podcasts, you can find What's on Tap. So until next time,
keep drinking, you dum-dums.